Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the past 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you or a loved one is dealing with a health challenge you'd like help with, we are here for you. We welcome your calls. We want to be a resource for you on all things health and nutrition. 844-236-6010. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you have a comment or success story you'd like to share, questions about the longevity products, our Truth Skin Health products, formulations, ingredients, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. And don't forget to click on the Join the Team link and join the Brightside Ben team. If you're an entrepreneur, you definitely have to at least look into the longevity business opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur and you like the world of health, if you're an entrepreneur and you've been supplementing yourself, or you notice the benefits of supplementation in a loved one or friend or family member, as well as yourself, and you're an entrepreneur, this is the ideal business opportunity. For a one-time $25 fee, you can be in business for yourself. You can check it out for yourself just for $25, and you can get your products, of course, at the wholesale price for $25. Go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. It'll be the best $25 you've ever spent. brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Click on the Join the Team link, or call 866-735-2470 for more info. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. We are talking about energy, the digestive system, pretty much energy, I guess you could say. This idea that all disease is cell disease is really, could be more specifically said, or more specifically stated as all disease is cell energy disease. It's all about energy. Been talking about the energy nature of the body. That's basically what we talk about on this program, the energy nature of the body, or the energy nature of the cell and its relationship to overall health. At the end of the day, our health, or the lack of our health, our diseases or pathologies, either our health or our lack of health, or our aging, I should say, because aging is not necessarily a lack of health, but aging also is a function of energy. At the end of the day, health, the lack of health, and the aging process itself is a function of energy. It has to do with energy. It has to do with how we're processing energy, for better or worse. When we talk about energy, we're talking about life. The livingness of the body. The livingness of the body, the life of the body is contained in the cell, and it's a function of how the cell is processing energy. We always say all disease is cell disease, and all cell disease is a function of the production of cellular energy. The production of cellular energy is itself a function of chemicals that are being put together and broken down. That's all that's happening. It's all chemistry. It's all biology. It's all life. It's all energy. It's this amazing process of things getting strategically and intelligently, that's the key word there, intelligently being broken down and built up. The putting together of molecules, or the putting together of chemicals, we'll say, is called, in the body, is called anabolism, building. Anabolism means building, like you take anabolic steroids. You've probably heard that term. It means building. Anabolism is the putting together of stuff. And then the breaking down of stuff to release energy. When stuff is put together, energy is stored. When stuff is broken apart, energy is released. This breaking down is called catabolism. Breaking up. Anabolism and catabolism. And guess what? This breaking down and building up, which is the very essence of life. It's what life is. This breaking down and building up of chemicals, this anabolic and catabolic process, is together referred to as metabolism. The intelligent storage and release of energy out of molecules is called metabolism. And that's what life is. And you can pretty much assume that if you have any kind of health challenge, there is some problem in the processing of energy, the storage and release of energy, the metabolism. All disease is cell disease. What we really mean is all disease is cell metabolic disease. All disease is metabolic disease. All disease is about the breaking up, the building and breaking up of things, and the release, the storage and release of energy. And the bad news about this whole idea that all disease is metabolic disease is there's nothing the doctor can do to improve metabolism. There's nothing in the medical model's bag of tricks that can do anything to help metabolism. In fact, everything in the medical model's bag of tricks disrupts metabolism. It messes up metabolism. It interferes with metabolism. It throws a monkey wrench into all this, the metabolic process of a cell. And keep in mind now, I'm being really simplistic. I'm saying the building up and breaking down. It's basically what it is. But it's happening at this level of complexity that is, there's no words to describe it. I mean, it's just the complexity and the interactions and the networking and the web-like nature of all these breaking down and building up things that are happening in the body is beyond our ability to comprehend. It's like trying to comprehend the universe. It's trying to comprehend, the hugeness of what's out there. It's not possible to comprehend it. And it's so arrogant and so stupid to have this system of healing and system of health that doesn't understand this, that thinks in its arrogance that it can interfere with this metabolic process, this incredibly complex web, this incredibly complex networking of simultaneous and parallel breaking down and building up catabolic and anabolic and metabolic processes is stupefying. That I don't want to say a doctor, but that the model. The doctors buy into the model, so they're definitely complicit here. But the model itself is so arrogant. It's this idea that we can break things apart and somehow address specific parts, specific units without affecting the whole. It doesn't. It's just ridiculous. There's no way you can take a drug and not interfere with metabolism. That's what drugs do. That's what surgeries do. That's what ablations do. That's what everything the doctor does interferes with metabolism. And once we understand this whole idea of all disease being metabolic disease, we'll understand why it's impossible for a doctor, why this is the second or third year in a row, why life expectancy has dropped, why diabetes is going through the roof, and we have all kinds of diabetes drugs, why cancer rates are increasing despite our war on cancer. We'll understand why the medical model can't do anything for autoimmune disease except give you prednisone. We'll understand why doctors are helpless, because it's all about metabolism, and drugs can only mess up metabolism. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. That is a fact. Drugs and surgery and electrocutions and whatever you're going to get at the doctor's office is going to mess up your metabolism, period. And if you disagree, if you're a medical person or if you're not a medical person, you disagree, I want to hear from you. Otherwise, if you're a medical person, what are you doing? Not that there's any medical people probably listening to this radio program, but ask your doctor, what are you doing if all disease is metabolic? What are you doing with these drugs? All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we have lines open. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, our Truth Skin Health products, a success story you would like to share, or if you want to contribute to our conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. You can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or you can call 866-735-2470. And don't forget to click on the Join the Team link for a one-time $25 fee. You can get your products at the wholesale price and start a longevity business. Ideal if you're an entrepreneur, and even if you're not an entrepreneur, you just want to get your products at the wholesale price or be part of the longevity team for a one-time $25 fee. You can join up. Sign up to join the Brightside Ben team for $25 or call 866-735-2470. Just sign up off our websites or call 866-735-2470. All right, so I came across this quote, very interesting. This is from Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli, famous Italian prince who lived in the 1500s. There is nothing more difficult to carry out, nor more doubtful of success, nor more dangerous to handle than to initiate a new order of things. For the reformer has enemies in all who profit by the old order, and only lukewarm defenders in all those who would profit, by the new order. In other words, old systems don't die easily, especially if there is a profit motive. And this is why the most common sense ideas, which is what we talk about on the bright side. Yes, we get a little technical. Yes, we get a little scientific, but really it's not that bad. It's common sense. Body runs on energy. It's an energy processing system. Breaking up energy, building up energy. If you're sick, you're not doing that right. Period. It's not that complicated. But there is an old order that is profiting on the idea that you go to the doctor and you get a drug for your diabetes. And there's lots of money to be made, and this old order is not going to die willingly. Drugs can only interfere with metabolism, and that is just chemistry. That's just a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. And by the way, this is one reason why I don't talk a lot about herbs. While there are nutritional components in herbs, herbal medicine is medicine at the end of the day. And this is a distinction between all medicine and nutrition. And that's why we talk about nutrition on this program. And that's why, periodically you'll see articles or news stories about how the government is prosecuting, or the FDA is prosecuting companies that for tainted supplements that have contaminants in them, or perhaps supplements that have drugs in them. Or you'll see dietary supplements being causing toxicity. Every year, Consumer Reports runs a story on herbs that are toxic, or on supplements that are toxic. But what they don't tell you is these supplements are usually herbal supplements. They're not nutritional supplements, they're herbal supplements, because herbal supplements are herbs, and herbs are still going to have a certain amount of medicinal properties that are non-nutritional. What makes something a nutrient is that there are mechanisms in place. This is very important what I'm going to say here now. What makes something a nutrient is that there are mechanisms in place for breaking down and building up, for anabolism and catabolism, for storing energy and releasing it. There's systems in place for doing that. What makes something a drug is there are no systems in place. That these are foreign to the body. The body doesn't know what to do with these. It doesn't know how to break them apart. It doesn't know how to store, make them store with each other or connect them up with each other. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to metabolize them. This is why we have a detox system. The detox system helps the body, or makes things that are non-metabolizable, metabolizable. So the body can get rid of it. It can metabolize it and get rid of it. So when we talk about using drugs, what we're really talking about is somehow, in a strategic way, supposedly, bypassing the body's metabolic processes so that we can artificially contrive make certain things happen. We can artificially contrive functionality. We can make the blood pressure drop. We can make the immune system quiet down. We can make bone cells die. But what we can't do is help the body store and release energy. And because all disease is metabolic, is energy, the doctor can't do anything. This is why doctoring fails us. And by the way, I've been in the skincare business formulating for many years, and this is how I formulate my skincare products. All my skincare products are formulated with metabolizable, it's the right way to say it, I guess, ingredients that can be metabolized, that can be stored, and where the energy can be stored and released. Ingredients, I call them biogenic ingredients. Ingredients that the body has systems for processing, for metabolizing, for either storing the energy held within or releasing the energy held within. So all disease is cell disease, and all cell disease is metabolic disease, which means it's energy disease. The bad news is the doctor can do nothing about it. Drugs can do nothing about it. Or I shouldn't say that. The doctor can only make things worse, and drugs can only make things worse. And surgical procedures can only make things worse unless you have some kind of trauma. And this is where surgery is obviously very important when you have trauma. And modern medicine is pretty darn miraculous when it comes to trauma. So what we're talking about here is long-term diseases which are said to be metabolic diseases. The bad news is doctor can do nothing. If you're on drugs, you're wasting your time. If you're on drugs because you want to get better, and you understand what I just said in the last 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so, you understand why your drugs are useless. And I hate to say it, your statin drugs, your antihypertensives, I'm telling you this as a pharmacist, as a chemist, not as a pharmacist, but as a chemist, they're useless as far as getting better. Now, they may be keeping you in the game if your body's completely falling apart, and you just had surgery, you need a blood thinner. You know, if you've already tweaked the system so much, they may be keeping you in the game. And I'm not telling anybody to just stop their drugs cold turkey. But what I am saying is you're not going to get better with your drugs, period. Take that to the bank. Take it to your doctor, and if he disagrees, have him call me. We'll have a conversation on the air. The good news, bad news is the doctor can do nothing. But the good news is, and this is really good news, that's why I call this program The Bright Side. Because metabolism is in our control. We control our metabolism. All disease is cell disease. All cell disease is metabolism or metabolic disease. We control our metabolism. Our metabolism is a function of how we live our lives. Our metabolism is a function of how we eat. Our metabolism is a function of how we drink. It's how we supplement. It's how we exercise. It's how we rest. It's how we breathe. It's how we think. It's how we emote, how we feel. This is so amazing. When you understand what I just said about metabolism and energy and how all diseases just involves how the body processes energy, and then the doctor can't do anything, it makes it a no-brainer to start to do the things we talk about on the bright side. Nutriate, respirate, move, and rest. And then throw in the way you think and the way you emote. Because make no mistake about it, the way you think and the way you emote affects your metabolism. And this is where all the dimensions of healing become so important. How we think, how we emote, how we exercise, how we rest, how we breathe, how we eat, how we drink, how we supplement. This is how our metabolism is controlled intelligently. Not because we're doing it, but because our body's doing it. We're just providing the body the wherewithal, the cells, the wherewithal to do their work. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. Okay, we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 at brightsideben.com, also pharmacistben.com and criticalhealthnews.com if you want to purchase longevity products, that is. Or you can call 866-735-2470. So I hope this isn't getting too much in the weeds. I'm trying to simplify things, this whole idea of metabolism and energy. And by the way, energy is just kind of a vague word. In the body, energy manifests itself as electricity. The body is a bioelectrical system, and while we talk a lot about chemistry, because that's what nutrition really is chemistry, if you zoom in really, really closely to the tiniest of levels, literally the quantum level, the tiniest of tiny levels, you'll see electricity.
And this is how the body works. This is how cells work. Cells are little batteries. They're electrical batteries. We're going to talk about this a lot. This is why I didn't just jump into this, by the way. This is all related to the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy factories of the cell. What they really mean is they produce the electricity. And they produce the electricity in this incredible way, which we will get into here later on, because there's lots of ways we can support the mitochondrial work using supplements. We'll be talking a lot about this in the coming days. But today, I just really wanted to get the idea across that it's all metabolic, and there's nothing the doctor can do for metabolism. Tomorrow, I want to talk a little bit about I want to examine this idea of energy and energy storage and energy release a little more closely, because there's a lot of health implications there. All right, 844-236-6010. Hang tight if you're on hold. Do have lines open for you. This is from the Perlmutter Cancer Center at NYU Langone Health, and it published in the journal Cell. Vitamin C may encourage blood cancer stem cells to die. Vitamin C may tell faulty stem cells in the bone marrow to mature and die normally instead of multiplying to cause blood cancers. Vitamin C is a growth stabilizer. Vitamin C is absolutely mind-blowing in its diverse roles and diverse functional effects in the body. How vitamin C works is just incredible. For one vitamin, for one nutrient, for one chemical, a tiny little one at that, a tiny little molecule to have all of these incredible benefits. It's possibly the most important detoxing supplement you could take. It's involved in the energy production and the formation of electrical energy at the level of the mitochondria. It stimulates the immune system. It is just incredibly important. It is literally the key player in the production of your body's connective tissue. I sometimes wonder how much aging is about connective tissue deterioration. We've talked about this ad nauseum, how many of our health issues have some element of connective tissue deterioration, because it's the connective tissue that is feeding the cells. So pretty much all diseases are going to have some kind of connection to a relationship to connective tissue defects, and vitamin C is the rate-limiting step in connective tissue production. I sometimes wonder how our dependence on the RDA, the ridiculous deficiency allowance, how our dependence on the RDA for the amount of nutrients that we get, and it is ridiculously deficient. 60 to 100 milligrams of vitamin C a day is what they tell you need. Animals make their own vitamin C. They make 10 times or 50 times, 10 to 50 times the amount of vitamin C that they tell you is the RDA for a human being. In any case, I sometimes wonder how much of our diseases, things like osteoporosis and heart disease, and all the other cancer, all the other ways connective, and aging, all the other ways connective tissue deterioration shows up, is really subclinical vitamin C deficiencies. Maybe we just need a lot more vitamin C. Now, you can supplement with vitamin C for sure, and we all should supplement with vitamin C, but keep in mind there are cofactors that help vitamin C work, and that's why food plus supplementation is really the best way to get your vitamin C. Nonetheless, if you have cancer, I'd be doing intravenous vitamin C. You better believe that people who have unlimited funds, movie stars, celebrities, who are interested in longevity and their appearance and beauty, you better believe they're doing intravenous vitamin C, in addition to other intravenous nutrients. That's what we should all be doing. We should all have access to intravenous nutrients, in my opinion, if we really cared about health, not free drugs. That's absurd. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's hit the phones and say good morning to Raquel/Mike. Raquel/Mike. I take it that means both of you, correct?
Well, Mike's not here. This is Raquel. And
hi, Raquel.
Hi. On August the 9th, I had a quadruple. I had been on longevity, but this is a bad testimony. I ran out of money, and I had stopped, and I stopped taking metformin, and I stopped exercising, and the results was a quadruple. So I'm back on longevity, and I am taking metformin, 1,000 milligrams, and they've got me on clopidogrel. I'm on 35 milligrams.
Clopidogrel, is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, that's like a Plavix, right?
I'm sorry, like Plavix, right?
And then I'm on that metoprolol, and I'm on 25 milligrams.
What are you
And,
trying to do? Are
of course, they
you
got
trying
me-
to depress me here, Raquel? What do you? That's terrible. This is horrible. I mean, what do you?
It
Would
is,
you like some
but
help?
Yeah, please tell me
Okay,
what
get
to
on
do.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways, so many things you need. It's not possible for me to tell you everything you need just on a quick phone call, but I can tell you a bunch of things. Magnesium,
Okay.
immediately. Vitamin C, immediately. Vitamin E, immediately. Vitamin alpha lipoic acid, immediately. Zinc, selenium, immediately. There's so many things you need. Keep your sugar down to a minimum. Only eat when you absolutely 100% positively need to eat. And stop eating. I mean, you don't have a window here, girl. You don't have a big window. You got to do a lot of things. Do you understand what I'm saying? Coenzyme Q10, by the way. Ubiquinol.
Yes.
Get a book called The Sinatra
How
Solution.
many do I take that? How many?
It's so many different things. Vitamin C, I'd be doing 1,000 milligrams a day. Selenium, I'd be doing 600 micrograms a day. Magnesium, I'd be doing a couple grams a day. Acetyl L-carnitine, I'd be doing a gram a day. Zinc picolinate, I'd be doing 50 milligrams a day. There's so many things. Coenzyme Q10, 200 milligrams a day. Keep your sugar down. Do not eat unless you absolutely have to, and stay far, far away from anything that even remotely gives you gas or bloating or any kind of digestive health issues. The bad news is there's a zillion things you need to do. The good news is every little thing you do is going to make you better and make your drugs more potent so that you can wean yourself off of them. So you got good news, bad news. You know, the good news is you can make a big, big, big difference with any little move you make. Any little strategic move you make. I just gave you about 10 or 15 of them. Any one of those will change your life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
How about
You need
enzymes?
somebody to walk you through this, ma'am. Ma'am, you need somebody to,
Okay.
Raquel, you need somebody to handhold you through this process. I just gave you 15 different things that you can do. What were you going to ask me real quick?
The enzymes and floral effects.
You need that too. I mean, yeah, I would do the nightly essence personally, and I would definitely do the ultimate enzymes with meals and an empty stomach. But again, Raquel, the good news is every little move you make is going to make a huge difference. The bad news is there's so many things you need to do, which means, listen to me, this means you need somebody to handhold you through the process who knows what they're doing. It's much more than I can give you on the phone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You're in Texas. Where are you? Where in Texas are you?
Fort Worth.
Oh, you got plenty. Look for a naturopath who can walk you through the process. You'll have to do some research. Thanks for your call, Raquel. God bless you and good luck with everything. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. Let's go to Alabama and say good morning to Rick. What's up, Rick? How you doing?
Hey, Ben. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, I had an ablation back in 2007.
A cardiac ablation? Cardiac ablation?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And I did not know any better then. And then things started coming along. I started having some issues and went to every type of doc specialist, and finally got a peroxidase antibody test and said, "Oh, you have Hashimoto's." So quit the gluten, and I can't. I mean, I am gluten free. I just push myself all the time. I'm up and down with energy right now. I'm hoarse because I know I've got reflux, and I feel like that's having an effect on me because that's just really kind of started lately. So I'm not taking proton pump inhibitor. I'm just doing over the counter like a Zantac and Tums, but that's not solving the problem. So I don't eat bad, but yeah, I'm not eating.
So what do you do? Let's cut to the chase here, Rick. So you want help dealing with just general health, or your the heart, the GERD, or the reflux, or what do we deal with? Thyroid, all of it?
I think all of it.
You want to do it at all fell swoop? You want to do everything in one fell swoop with just take care, just have one move affect everything? By the way, you know what that's called when you have one small move and you get lots of big effects?
Do you know what
Yeah.
they call that?
Yeah.
That's called leverage.
Leverage.
Leverage. A lever is a device that allows you to move something really big with just a small action. That makes sense? It's a very important word when it comes to health. When it comes to anything, really. I think the lever was the most important invention, maybe along with the wheel, was the most important thing man ever invented. You want to look for little moves that have big effects. Little moves in your particular case means a little move that will affect every single system of the body, including the thyroid for your Hashimoto's, the acid reflux and the hoarseness, and your heart problems, your cardiac problems. Now, ablation for the listeners is when they destroy part of the heart. Only God knows what they learn in medical school, how they can possibly think that they electrocute the heart. A cardiac ablation is when they electrocute the heart. How a doctor can think that that is a good thing to do. That's a whole other story. So in any case, I'm going to give you one move that will allow you to affect every single issue. In fact, this is not going to come as a surprise to you. It's the digestive system, and specifically SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Now, if you've been listening to the program, we've spent a lot of time, for the last few weeks anyway, talking about the digestive system, and we talked about SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Once that happens, and there's no way it's not happening to you, I don't need to do any tests to tell you that. It's definitely something you're dealing with. Once that happens, all systems start to break down, all of them. So you have to address the gut bacteria in the small intestine, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I'd be going ketogenic diet today. Okay, everything, you should be doing everything today. Ketogenic diet. I'd be as much I'd be getting as many of my calories, as high a percentage of my caloric intake from fermented vegetables as possible. And then veggie juices. You should be doing veggie juices and fermented vegetables. Again, eating as little as possible, filling up on veggies and vegetable juices. You do need some food, of course, but you don't need a lot. And then making sure that you're using a good probiotic supplement like the nightly essence, apple cider vinegar with all your meals, enzymes. Anything you do to focus on the gut there. The sugar component is huge because nothing feeds those bacteria like sugar. So the ketogenic diet is really going to be helpful for you. You should be going low sugar and carbs. And then anything that you can use to help your body process sugar and carbs will be helpful too. That will support the thyroid. It will reduce your Hashimoto's. It will help your heart work better. It will reduce the reflux. And you've got to have other health challenges too that you haven't talked about, and those will improve as well. How's that, Rick? Yeah. Anything else you got?
No, that sounds like a plan.
That should be your plan. That should be your plan right there. All right, stay in touch with us. Let us know how you're doing, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. Talk to you later, Rick. Bye-bye. All right. Let's go to my friend Gary in Minnesota. Gary, you've been... Oh, shoot. Gary, call. I hit the wrong button. I do that periodically, Gary. I am very, very sorry. Call back and we'll get you right up. We do have a couple more minutes, and we got an empty board at 844-236-6010. Do you guys see how easy this is? It is not complicated. The doctor wants you to think it's complicated. The medical model wants us to think it's complicated. It wants to think they have to spend a lot of money on finding cures for this and cures for that. It's not about cures. I have never, ever talked about cures. You know, if I ever did talk about cures, I could go to jail. The doctor's own cure. That's their word. That's a trademarked word by the medical model, cure. If I say cure, I could get sued. But it doesn't matter because we're not talking about curing here. This has nothing to do with curing. This is putting the body back into its pristine state as best as possible. It's kind of like doing a restore on your computer. Everything we're talking about here is basically like when your computer's totally messed up and you got to clear everything out. It's called doing a restore. What we're talking about is restoring the computer, the biocomputer, back to its default state. Back to its original state. It's like the state it was when it came out of the box, as best as possible. We're not going to be able to do that completely, of course, but as best as possible, trying to get the body back to its original state. And that's not a cure. There's nothing cure about that. That's a reversal. That's a reversal back to where the body needs to be, a recalibration of where the body needs to be. The idea of cure is mystical and magical.
We're not talking about mystical and magical cures. Only Jesus cures. Only God cures. The doctor doesn't cure. The doctor wants you to think he's got theological and religious and spiritual powers, but he doesn't. The medical model, I should say. I don't mean to. I definitely don't mean to besmirch the intentions or the reputations of physicians who are basically well-meaning. The vast majority of them are well-meaning, if diluted. And they are diluted. The ones who are prescribing the metoprolol, like for our last gal, metoprolol is a so-called beta blocker drug. Beta blockers are hideous drugs, yet they are the standard therapy for folks who are dealing with cardiovascular issues, for folks who are dealing with arrhythmias, for folks who are dealing with hypertension. There's like 20 different indications, cardiovascular indications for these beta blocker drugs, which are awful drugs that work as chemical ablating agents. Our last caller talked about his ablation. He had a cardiac ablation. Well, that's an electrical. They use electricity for that. But if you're on a beta blocker, they're giving you a chemical ablation. Perhaps not completely killing the heart cells like with electricity, but with chemistry, suppressing things. All right, here's Gary. Gary, I apologize. I hit the wrong button, buddy. I know you were holding off forever.
I'm excited to talk to you, and then I got cut out.
My bad. What's going on, man? We only got about a minute here.
Okay, I've got that humerus fracture.
There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing funny about a fracture, Gary.
No, I didn't say funny. I don't think I did. Anyways, the prolotherapy for my humerus fracture with ultrasound and a nerve block. Do you have any input on that?
Yeah, it'll stimulate some bone growth. It's not a bad idea. That's very interesting. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, Gary. The electrical nature of the body, the electrical nature of cells, and the electrical nature of regeneration and healing. Healing is incredibly dependent on bioelectricity at the level of the bone, at the level of the connective tissue, really. Bioelectricity at the level of the connective tissue is responsible for tissue regeneration. There was a guy named Becker who wrote a book on that. I forgot his name. I forgot the title of the book. Robert Becker. If you're interested in learning about that, he studied the regeneration of limbs and the electrical, the connection, the relationship of electrical energy to limb regeneration. But the same is true about all connective tissue, including bone. So not a bad idea. We're going to talk a lot about electricity in the coming days because I'm really fascinated with bioelectricity. I think it's very underappreciated. And while nutrition is really about chemistry. Nutrition itself works. The chemical nature of nutrition is secondary to the electrical nature at the level of the nutritional molecules, and we'll be talking about that in the coming days. Thanks for your call, Gary, and thank you to my very bright side listeners. Appreciate all of you. Please check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for our Truth Skin Health products. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.